How did your lying go this morning? Your extra hour in bed?
Irritating in that I didn't. I thought, well, no, don't get up yet. And it was really early. And might as well get up.
Yeah, I've got to go to the allotment between 11 and 12 to pay my subs for the year.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to Rutland.
All right, fantastic.
To meet some friends. We're going to walk around the lakes and go to a pub and sit in the garden and have some food.
Excellent.
I've never been to Rutland.
No, I'm not. No. I mean,
Exactly.
I wonder how often they get people going there and making jokes.
Just Ruttles.
Yeah.
Mum said to me yesterday, she goes, I know Rutland for some reason. I said, it'll be the Russells, Mum. The
Rutland Weekend Television
document. No, it's not that. What the hell else can it be from Rutland?
Exactly. That's the idea, isn't it? There's nothing. It's not even a place. It's just nothing. I didn't spend a lot of time preparing this morning because I was watching. I had to watch the end of Borat, which I was really impressed by. You know, he'd made another Borat. Yeah, I mean, he'd made another Borat movie. And I thought, okay, it's another Borat movie. It's not going to be. It's just more Borat, isn't it?
Subsequent movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, it was still jaw-dropping moments of, even when you've seen them in the news, it was still really, you know.
Yeah. The dance that they do. Jeez, I couldn't look. I hid behind a cushion.
Oh God.
I just couldn't do it. I was like, I'm not looking at that. But here's the thing, yeah, it's a bit. They obviously struggle because everyone knows who Borat is.
He has to wear disguises all the time.
Yeah, in the film, even like he's out on the street and everyone's asking to shake his hand and stuff like that, and saying it's very nice.
yeah.
So yeah, he had to wear disguises, which kind of made it a bit. I think they struggled.
And that's what I expected, and yet he still managed to do the things he does again, which I was amazed by.
I mean, I said to Sarah, I says, look, she enjoyed it. I says, but that's not as good as the original. The original was just like everything was like, oh God. And we watched it last night, the original, because it's on Amazon Prime as well.
Yeah.
And it's genius because 14 years is long enough.
Yeah.
For it, to get separation from it, because I found that once you'd watched the original Borat movie, you couldn't really watch it again. You could, but it was a bit boring because it's like, this is where that thing happens, this is where that thing happens.
Yeah.
But now there's been enough time, and it's sort of like it's mega cringe.
Yeah.
It's like cringe factor 10.
Yeah, I think there was one bit they chickened out of. Apparently, it turns out the bit when he goes and meets the Holocaust survivors, they actually told them in advance.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they couldn't do it. They just couldn't do it.
Yeah,
it's too much. It's too far.
I mean, he plays on that because he's Jewish, isn't he? Essentially, so he can sort of make those. He can make those jokes relatively safely.
Yes.
But even that's like going into a synagogue.
Yeah.
They've been in the concentration camps.
Yeah. You can't. Exactly. Yeah. And he didn't do that. He actually didn't do it. But I mean, the point is the targets are supposed to be people who deserve it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think, but even then, the problem, he goes to the women conservatives convention or whatever that is. Some of them are laughing because some of them know who he is.
Yeah.
So it doesn't quite work. So that they didn't really like him being there, but they didn't really mind that much. So it didn't.
What did you think of the Rudy Giuliani bit at the end?
It was still shocking, even though I knew what was going to happen, because you see it, and he's actually flirting with her, and he comes in to, I think, genuinely thinking, okay, that's enough now.
Stop
now.
Have a drink in the bedroom,
and then they actually go in the bedroom.
Yeah.
And he actually does, and he's
It's weird because he starts tucking his shirt in, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And it's sort of like
he's lying back. He's not just tucking his shirt in.
No.
But the thing is, of course, he's completely untouchable. In that won't have any effect on his election. It won't have any effect on the presidential election. Certainly not.
Yeah.
So what will happen is you get people going online and defending.
He's a regular on Fox News, isn't he?
Yeah, he's one of them.
And obviously they've had issues with regards that sort of thing at Fox News. So will that make them back off, do you think, from using him?
Not even. No. That's the thing, isn't it? It makes no difference.
Crazy.
Yeah. I noticed at the end it said vote or you'll be executed. As if it was like a thing, an election thing. It's not an election. It's not going to make any difference.
No.
20 years ago, it would have made an enormous difference, but not now. If anything, the opposite.
Yeah.
You will get people online defending chatting up 15-year-olds or something.
She's not 15. I mean, in that scenario, she wasn't presenting herself as a 15-year-old. She was a reporter, you would assume.
Yeah. And she doesn't look 15.
And she doesn't look
actually,
15,
yeah. So that's a thing. I think she said she did tell him she was 15 though.
Did she?
I think so. I've only just watched it.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Maybe.
We only finished watching it last night. Put it on Friday night. Fell asleep. I think I've missed a little bit.
Oh no.
So I fell asleep a little bit, but
I did it in four viewings. I got through the whole thing because I couldn't have time to watch a film.
I thought it was really interesting when he went to live with the conspiracy theorists.
That was amazing. And
they were actually really, really tolerant of him and supportive
really nice.
of him in the way. It's
and they were also nut bar lunatics
who believed Hillary Clinton drank the blood of babies.
Yes, and they weren't joking. They seemed like they genuinely believed it. And there was a moment when he went out of character. You could see sort of what. It just genuinely looked like they walked around the streets and found someone because there was no one around. So they found someone's out. They're a crazy person.
Went and live with you.
Yeah. But they were nice people. They were actually not, and they went and they talked to what they thought was his daughter. They genuinely thought, sort of,
it does strike you, doesn't it? It's a real shame that they come across as such. They are such nice people, yet they've been absolutely railroaded down this.
Insane.
I have my guns.
Yeah.
The Democrats are evil.
But it's only the ones they don't meet. If they met someone who was a Democrat and knew them, they wouldn't think, "Oh, well, yeah, okay, he's a Democrat. He's not the real Democrats."
Yeah.
It's literally Reds under the bed, isn't it? That's what it is.
So yeah, it was funny, definitely.
Mm-hmm. And that was in the news. That event, wasn't it? With he was getting them to chant, "Chop them up like the Saudis do." I'm all thinking it. I watched the end of Haunting of Bly Manor.
Was it any good? It's supposed to be scary.
Not scary, but it's ghost story. So I put it on thinking, oh, okay, like Haunting of Hill House. It's not as good as Haunting of Hill House, but it's also not really a horror. It's a ghost story that's not really a horror. So it's a ghosty thing.
Like the others. Mind you, that was a bit scary.
Better than the others.
I quite like the others.
I
First time I watched it, I was like,
yeah,
I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, I didn't get the twist. Yeah,
no.
Better than the others. I mean, but we've got a higher expectation now. Some of this TV stuff is really good. So less horror. No, there might have been one or two jump scares, but it's much less of that stuff. So it wasn't like scary. It's more mystery and ghosty.
Yeah, cool.
So it's worth a watch.
I've caught a little bit on Gogglebox, I think. It's sort of like when they're playing hide and seek at night. She says don't go out of your room at night.
Yeah.
And then they go and play hide and seek at night and you're like, what?
Yeah, don't go upstairs. I'm running away from something and I forgot. And I went upstairs. Oh no. Yes, some of the... It's not perfect, some of the characters are kind of terrible and unconvincing, and then why are you doing that kind of thing? But it's okay, and it's definitely worth a watch, If that was a movie, it would be completely forgivable.
Yeah, Netflix and Amazon Prime get away with that, don't they?
Yeah.
Because it's like high-budget TV movies.
Yeah.
Is essentially what they do.
Yeah, which is so much better than old high-budget TV movies. I mean, bloody hell. Even It. You watch the TV movie version of It. The kids are brilliant. The adults are terrible. They're so bad. It's like a soap opera. It's like Dallas or something.
Is it? I've never watched it. I can't.
All right. This way.
That clown face, man. Nah. Nah.
Yeah. It is quite scary. Maybe not now, but it's quite scary, you know. Not like Poltergeist scary, but quite scary.
Well, again, I saw a little bit on Gogglebox of the sequel.
Yeah.
Where he's in the Hall of Mirrors, and the clown's trying to smash its face through the glass. Yeah. I'm like,
it's
horrific.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, well, the new one is basically it's the same, but with jump scares. It's very similar, and the acting is a bit better. You've got a couple of famous people in there. Young Professor Xavier.
Yeah, James McAvoy.
That's the one. Yeah. And, you know, so it's a higher caliber of actor for the adults.
Apart from that, I've been watching Friends.
Goodness me.
I've watched about 2 seasons of Friends on Netflix.
So would that be early Friends or later Friends?
It's actually later Friends. It's when Ross is going to get married to Emily onwards. So it was sort of like I saw the marriage where he says Rachel, and then everything that follows, his downward spiral, blah blah blah. Monica and Chandler getting together, and actually, it is really the standard of writing and performing is actually really, really good.
Yeah.
It still holds up now, no problem at all. Yeah, I mean, when you look at something like Cheers, I mean, I did like Cheers, but I would never go back and watch it. Whereas, like Frasier and Friends...
Frasier is very good, isn't
very rewatchable, and very funny. I actually laugh.
I find Friends a bit disposable. But it's kind of meant to be, but it's very well written. It's good enough to watch. I've probably only seen 20 episodes, maybe.
There are actually good jokes in there.
Yeah, and I've always it's not like it's boring.
No.
Yeah. And, I mean, you said what you said just then. I remember some of it, but I don't remember Ross.
Well, actually, I mean, I suppose I was quite into it because we were at uni when Friends was running.
Really?
Yeah, because I remember in the second year we didn't have Sky. Friends was on Sky.
Right.
And my mate would record it at home on a tape and give it to us, and we'd all sit around and watch it.
Goodness me.
In the house. And that was...
that would be why I didn't see it.
That was early Friends, that was. I was quite early.
Oh, okay. That's it. I didn't watch it live, I think is the thing. Obviously it was endless repeats on every single channel. So eventually I saw some of it.
I noticed this morning we had bagels for breakfast. It said in association with Friends on it. I thought that's like...
Oh, your actual bagels you had?
Yeah.
That's right.
For breakfast this morning. It's sort of like, how many years ago? 15 years ago?
Yeah. And you were watching it?
It's mad.
So is that on Netflix? Where is that?
That's Netflix,
It is
yeah.
on Netflix. Yeah.
We've got them all on there.
So how many seasons?
I've been watching a bit of South Park.
Yeah. I don't think
South
the
Park.
new ones I think it's not quite as good. This is the thing about South Park was the quality was so high.
Yeah, for a long time.
I don't think it's quite there now. I like some of it with Randy's got his farm now. Have you seen all that stuff?
Yeah, I watched a bit of that. He's
Integrity
Farm, that's it.